about Pinterest marketing, getting into the holiday season. So important, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So I have my notes. Pinterest does this class every year, and I always take it because I learned something. I think sometimes with social media, and Pinterest is like a visual social media engine. They say they're not social media, but after this class, I'm like, you just contradicted yourself, Pinterest, and I don't work for them, so to be honest about this, my experience with it, also utilizing it for years. So with that, let's get ready. We're gonna be talking about Pinterest, getting ready for the holiday season. And if you're like Celeste, I don't even use Pinterest. That's okay, my friend, because you can still utilize this information for your own holiday marketing, going to the holiday season. It's super, super helpful. It helped me a lot, so I hope it helps you too. So with that, let's get started. So first, we're talking about Pinterest. It's for pinners, people who are planning things, right? If you think about Pinterest, you're planning a party, a wedding, a photo shoot session, your 40th birthday party, a life event, right? Like, it's really used for planning. Maybe you're gonna remodel your bathroom or your bedroom. So that's where really people go to get ideas. Okay, so people really go there for ideas and inspiration. So it's so important to know. Again, it's a visual search engine. They say they're not social media, but short form video has been really pushed hard on there. So I don't know, but it's not social media. It's probably like not social media in the sense that if I post, it's not like, oh, who's following me? I'm gonna show this to my followers. It's not the same concept. It's more like, who's this visually capturing, and based on my words and SEO, who is it gonna show it up to, right? And people, it's so important that for us as business owners on there, that we show up when people are deciding. So they were talking about the stages, and they really were talking a lot about being transparent about ads for them. So I really I don't care about that. I don't use ads. I wouldn't use ads. They use AI with their ads, and you know how I feel about AI. That's just my own personal belief. So, but they were talking about a couple of things that we can take into our holiday season. Okay, number one, first, the importance of if you're gonna run ads, to build a clear foundation, right? It's so important that you have first test stuff out, like what does your audience resonating with, what are they not. Number two, have data and use it to rebuild. So pretty much review what worked, what didn't, what for example, if somebody commented a lot on a piece of content that you created, why did they comment a lot of it? Maybe somebody has been booking a lot from that one piece of content. What is it that made them book so much from that one piece of content that you created, right? And lastly, number three is momentum, or scale it, right? So if something is working, put money on it, simplify it, and use it, and learn what can you learn from it, right? To go ahead and be able to duplicate those results. Then we're talking about ads, so I'm not gonna go over this. It's just literally ads and things like that. And then they're talking about strategy into action, which I really love, because we can have the best ideas, the best content, and not post. As you know, I'm ethical marketing. I do not need to post every day or show up every day online. I don't educate to that, because that is going to lead to overwhelm and burnout. And also, like right now, I'm in a season of education. There is this one specific class that I'm taking right now on marketing, different things and aspects of it, and I'm really trying to focus on that before I start pinning. My heavy content season is coming up soon, but that's just me, right? And I'm not judging myself for that. So I think it's so important that we realize that strategy into action matters. But it's so important to think about this, three things. Number one, when do you want to start launching something or posting or talking about something, right? Like, if back to school, we're already back to school. Some kids already went back to school this week. Some kids are going back to school next week. So back to school would be something that you would have to plan for before of time, right? Most people already got their back to school haircuts. I happen to give all my kids their haircuts already. So it's just always thinking about the strategy when you're gonna launch something. Number two is structure your campaigns or your posts. If you're gonna be doing, for example, back to school, I would have started that in July, okay? When people are on vacation and coming back from vacation, back to school shopping, that's the time, right, to start focusing on launching those posts or campaigns for that. And number three is so important to what to prioritize, right? And I think that's so important. I really love that they touched on this during the class, because we need to know what's important. So if right now you need to book more, and you know, because you track things, that a lot of your clientele comes from social media, it would probably be important to prioritize posting on social media versus trying to take a new class, right? So I think it's really important that you always look at your business. What's a priority right now? Is it to make income? Is it to improve your client, experience? Is it to get your business more visible? Like, we are all in different stages of it. So I think it's so important that you know what to prioritize, and that's going to be separate and individual to everybody's needs. So then they were talking about holiday seasons, which this I really loved. Okay. And I think it really helped a lot too. So we're going to go over this. Okay. Whether you utilize Pinterest or not, you can take this and run with it. So number one, prep for your peak season. Okay. For peak season, I know because I still do color. Peak season is the holiday season. All my clients, all my girls come in. They all come in to come get their color done or a haircut or a treatment. Like, I know that for a matter of fact. So it's knowing that that's my peak season, and I also have my peak season of bridal hairstyling because I live in Sonoma County, and for me it's a peak season time. There was a year, I think it was 2024, I worked into December 30th. So I mean, like, I know that's peak season. It's so important to like audit. Number one, like it says audit your feed health, so look at your social media, how's it doing, what's the health of it. It's so important to test your promotions and build a qualified list. But also prepping for peak season for me, I think it's also like mental and health wise, like what is going to take for you to be in your best capacity during that time. For me, it's required that I don't take Sunday weddings all the time. I only take 5 a year. That keeps my mental and physical health and well-being. I go on walks. I take breaks. I take social media breaks. I don't put pressure on myself or more things to do. So preparing for peak season, yes, it's important to do it for your social media. It's important to do it for your Pinterest, but also for your health, mental, and well-being. Number two, they say like test and learn. So like, if you're gonna be doing ads, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run a promotion for the holiday season. This is the time to start testing what is working. Put the stuff out there. Don't judge yourself, and see what's working and resonating, right? What's gonna work on Pinterest is different than what's gonna work on TikTok. I know that for a matter of fact. So I think it's so important that you have to test, right? You only know that if you test your own content. So these are the times to start testing, and not judge yourself. Number two, they're talking about if you run ads, and I think even just for like your post in general, it's a good rule of thumb. It's just that wait a week or 2 weeks. And I apologize, I keep like stuttering. Hold on, I need some water. My throat hurts. Hold on. Okay, so for ads or your posts, please wait a week or 2 before you actually analyze the data, because it needs time to stabilize, at least for Pinterest. But I love this for a rule of thumb for everything. Sometimes like we can judge something, like if I have a piece of content that's doing amazing, it's bringing in business or it's bringing in engagement or whatever my goal is, or visibility, whatever my goal is for that, for that month, I am not gonna be posting more things on top of it. I'm gonna let it run its course, and I'm gonna be okay with it. That I'm not following every social media guru that I have to post every day. Okay, so I think it's so important that you allow things to stabilize and run, and really like be able to analyze things, right? If I make it a post that I just posted 2 hours ago and it has zero likes, if I'm judging it before I even give it time to mature and see what happens with it, I think it does more harm to us as business owners than it helps us. And I've seen this a lot. There's posts sometimes, I'm being transparent, okay, that get like 11 likes, but I got 3 bookings. So am I judging myself because I got 11 likes? No, I am so happy I got 3 bookings out of it. So, right, it's all context behind what you see and what you do. The other thing that we're talking about for, just preparing for a holiday season, it's so important that you activate early. So start early. We all know, and if you don't know this, the hardest times to run ads and most expensive is November and December. Okay, all the big companies that have millions of dollars to do so are doing it as well. So that's prime season, right? So that is so important to start early. Like right now is a cheap season. September will be cheap. October is still cheap, you know? Now going to November, December, you're not gonna be paying more money. So this is a time to, whether it's your content or ads, to start testing it out. And you may not like this, but this is just in regards to Pinterest. For the holiday season, they recommend you start in October. And we can take this like even to our own social medias. I think it's so important that you realize that people start planning for stuff early. So maybe you thought, oh, November 1st is early enough. It's not. They recommend to start in October. And I really love this too, like they were talking about, for at least for the Pinterest algorithm, when you use, if you decide to use ads, that you should never increase your budget more than 30%, because it can reset the algorithm. So I think that's so important too, like with, again, back to what I was saying, when you have a piece of content that's doing what you want for your business, bringing in business, visibility, or leads, or service, you know, like we're actually booking services from it, like it's so important that you actually like be smart about it. And instead of like pushing more into it, like you let it like little by little wins the race, okay? And then go into structuring campaign ads, which I'm not going to go into. And let's go to my last page on the notes for Pinterest. Okay, so the last thing that we're talking about, it's for like holiday shopping. And it doesn't matter whether you're service-based or you are actually like a product-based business. I think it's so important that you look at your organic content. And if you don't know this, this is like the smart, I've heard this so many times, I think a lot of people don't know this, is that if you're gonna run an ad, it should do well organically before you ever think about putting money on it. Okay. And they were also like talking about this. It's so important that you engage with your organic content, and then you can go ahead and make that paid content, right? Or paid ads. So I think that's so important. And yeah, so let me just go over different things about ads. We're not going to talk about that. And let's see. Oh, I have one more page, and we'll be done with this episode. Those are just the notes that I took from it. They talk about a lot of things. I felt like this year still, and I'm being transparent. Okay, I'm being transparent because I'm being freaking honest about it. It was more like an ad for their ads, so that I would go purchase their ads or run ads, which I kind of did not appreciate. But you know, I'll take the free good information that I'm sharing here with you as well. And they were talking about like for organic impressions, which is good. Like I mean, they spend so much money on market research. I think it's so important that we take it as well, even though we're like smaller business owners, right? We don't own a $1 billion or $200 million company. I mean, maybe we could one day, right? But we can take information that Pinterest has gathered through market research to help with our own, you know, businesses. And they're talking just about organic impressions, so people like, you know, content that gets a lot of views. And they were talking lifestyle, so things like it be like look like you're in real time. Like instead of talking about this water bottle, for example, if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify video, I'm taking a drink as I'm doing this episode, and my water's nice and cold. I love it. It's so refreshing, right? So a video of me taking a sip of their water bottles is gonna be more impactful than me talking about the water bottle. So I think that's really important. So lifestyle type of content and warm colors do very well for people for things to get views. So I think that was really good, like insight I wanted to share with you as well. So other things that they were talking about, so they're gonna start utilizing AI. And somebody asked in the live class if using AI imagery affects, or the algorithm like will knock you down, like knock it off, that's not okay. And they were talking like their algorithm doesn't work like that, but they have noticed that, of course, you know, the users on Pinterest do realize that if something looks like an AI photo, they don't engage with it as much. So I think it's really important, and I really love this part. It made me, my little AI, no gracias heart, that if you utilize AI, even people, even us as consumers, like we're not really attracted to it. I really love organic things and organic content that's real time, you know. So I think it's just really important that it's back to emphasizing that AI is not taking over things. So the other thing, and I think that was it. So that was it for all the classes that I took from them, which was really awesome. But also, like, this would be my takes for the holiday season. You know, I always do this at the end of every episode because I do this episode every single year for holiday season. So with that, let's go a little bit deeper. I'm just gonna share like 3 things like to look at. Okay, number 1, go look at your last year's holiday season. If you're doing a promotion again, or you're doing the same type of content, what did well last year? Sometimes we think we have to do everything from scratch. We do not. There's content. I repurpose content all the time that's older, and sometimes it does very well again because it worked the first time, right? So look at that. What was the video? What was your caption? When did you post it? Pay attention to the details, right? Analyze what has already worked in the past, because more than likely it's going to work again. Now, again, take that with a little grain of salt. If it's a video from 2016, you know, we're in 2026, it's been 10 years, okay? So just look, but get some ideas. I would look to like last year's, if I was running a promotion that I did last year, I would look at my content that I posted last year, promoting that content, see what resonated, what did well, what didn't, to kind of help me and guide me as I go into a holiday season for posting. The other thing is start early. Okay, so we're talking about ads, and it doesn't matter if you don't run ads, okay? Like, I do not run ads at this point, just because my own little values and beliefs. But even that was such good information for me, because I know that November and December is not just going to be the regular content that we all post, okay? On top of that, it's going to be big brands are going to be spending a lot of money on ads and pushing more content out. So there is like fatigue over that too. So that was so good for me to know, like, okay, I have a plan, I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start my marketing plan differently this year, knowing that piece of information. Because yes, well, so Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, YouTube, Twitter, or X, I call it X, all this different type of social media accounts do not work the same. It is true intent that all companies, no matter whether it's Birkenstock or whether it's a water bottle or hair product, everybody's gonna be pushing stuff out for the holiday season for shopping, because people are looking to buy for presents, okay? And it's a big spend for a lot of, you know, the big companies. So knowing that, right, I think it's so important that we plan ahead of time. So if you want to run promotions, why not try and see if you do it before the holiday season? How will that do for your business? I don't know, but just getting in that curious mindset. Now that you have the information, there's going to be more content being pushed out with a lot more money spent from bigger companies in November and December. What can you do different, right, to stand out from the competition, or, you know, stand out from all these people that have the actual, you know, means to put all this money to get more attention? I think it's so important that we get smart about that too. And lastly, number 3, I really love how they shared that, you know, what's actually working. And that AI is not overtaking everything. And I really want to like touch a little bit on this, is that with AI, I know it can be so discouraging, will be the word. I feel discouraged. At the beginning, I felt discouraged because I'm like, okay, I'm not using AI. And if I used AI, I could literally have this one video right now, cut it into 50 pieces of content and post it everywhere. That's amazing. With me, is clicking a button, right? But because I don't use AI, I'm gonna edit, like, you know, I'll do a little editing here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and post it in my different forms of, you know, social media platforms that I utilize, and that's what I can do with it, right? I can make 5 pieces of content with this podcast episode versus having 50 pieces of content if I utilize AI. And so for first, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be left behind, but I want to be in, you know, I want to be in integrity with my own values. But now even having Pinterest say, hey, you can utilize AI if you want, but it doesn't mean that consumers like it, or like we've noticed, like doesn't get that much engagement. For me, it was so refreshing because it really goes back to the whole point of like us as human beings, and even you as a business owner and as a person, you have so much knowledge that nobody else, not even the AI algorithm, can duplicate. And so you still have your zone of genius, right? And nobody can take that away. So don't be discouraged. Even if you go look at my account, last month, I posted 3 times, 3 posts, and 2 reels, which is only 5 pieces of content for the whole month. Okay, I could get scolded if I had like a coaching for a coach for social media. I'd probably be like, Celeste, you're doing so bad. But actually, I'm not. I'm booking. I'm busy. I already booking into 2027. Okay. So I'm so excited. I'm like, heck yes, we're already in May of 2027. Celeste is booking. So Celeste's super excited because what I'm doing is working, right? And I really wanted to share with you, not because like, oh my gosh, Celeste figured it out. No, because like if you want to be in integrity, you don't want to post every day, you don't want to live based on social media, you don't have to, because I really don't. And I do what's in alignment with me and for me, for my business. And also there's no judgment to you if you want to post every single day also social media, because you have the capacity and that brings you joy, and that's something you have to do with your right now with your business. And like something I heard recently is like we have 2 abundant things of time or money, right? So you're either abundant in time that you can spend in creating extra content or posting or doing all the things, or you have extra money, right? So like, what can you utilize that resource? Maybe you can hire out for somebody to help you with that. Maybe you can hire out for somebody to guide you with that, right? And I think it's just so important that we always look up both of those, and that it fluctuates. As business owners, we know this. It's not this perfectly mountain that you go up to the top forever, right? It ebbs and flows, okay? So it has peaks and valleys, and that's the beauty of it. And we get to grow and evolve through that. So that's what I took from the Pinterest class. And I'm sorry, like I went through all my notes, but it was a lot about ads. I just like to take down the information. I've noticed when I do classes, and I just really wanted to share what really pertained to you and what would be helpful for you. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you back here next week.